Devin, Dixon, Paul Ratliff in to the Finley Hyundai Studios. Greetings, salutations, and good morning, sports fans. And Paulie, how we feeling today?
Great, buddy. Great.
Feeling good enough. We are feeling lively enough here in the 7 o'clock hour one, that we're going to get to some Doghouse Penthouse. We're going to have David James from the DJ and PK show. 97.5 The Zone up there in Salt Lake, part of the longest running sports show in Utah. If they're in Utah the longest, we're the longest in southern Utah.
That's right.
DJ's been up there in the media business since 1992. So he's got me by a good 11 years on the air, on the mic. So he's a veteran. We don't often get to talk to DJ or PK. We've had him on a few times over the years because they're on in the morning, we're on in the morning. Kind of difficult to do that when they're doing their show and we're doing our show. But I'm excited to talk to DJ, man. It's been a long time since we've talked to DJ.
That's right.
Jeremiah Jensen on a week ago, leading up to the draft. We had who else did we have up there? We had one other. Wesley Ruff was on recently, talking about he's announced his retirement as of last Sunday for ABC4. So, like to lean on the Jazz, the Cougs, and the Utes experts up north. Before we get into the Doghouse, though, Paulie, I wanted to get your thoughts on where you and I were yesterday. We got an invite to sneak on down to see a workout with the Utah Tech men's basketball team.
Yes.
I missed the women's morning workout. Right now, you're allowed to work out. You got a certain number of hours a week with the team between lifting weights and conditioning and practice at the D1 level. And so you and I snuck down and saw how the guys kind of looked early on in camp.
It was interesting to see the early composition, some of the transfers, some of the mission kids that have come back. It was really cool to see the whole group working out. So obviously a long way to go till basketball season, but this is where the work is done. This is where the bricks are laid, brick by brick process to build a really good team like last year that competed for the WAC title. So this should be a fun team to watch. I was really kind of optimistic by just looking at the size profiles and the athleticism of some of the guys while they were doing drills. It was really fun to watch. I was really happy to get out there and see the team.
Yeah, I mean, decent size. Don't have like a true 7-footer, but got a bunch of 6'9", 6'8". It was good to see Kyle Lemke back.
Yeah,
former Dixie Flyer. Really fun to see him back in where his hometown. Good to see Boston Harker out there after the injury last year. They shut him down. Of course, Preston Vandermeide, and also Toby Aribi, I believe, is got another year of eligibility. He was out there at least practicing with the guys. And then you saw a lot of the newcomers. Owen Mackey, back from his 2-year LDS mission in Italy. I thought Omac looked really smooth yesterday in the session we watched.
He did. He looked good.
A couple nice kick-out passes. Very cerebral, very unselfish player. The one thing I noticed with this team, Paulie, and we're going to have John Judkins join us tomorrow on the show, and it's early in fall camp. They're trying to still get to know each other, but a lot of high fives, a lot of talking, a lot of camaraderie for early in camp. I liked what I saw. This might be a very unselfish team. Christian Gibson, the 4-star recruit, he looks good, 6'5", out of Houston. Rex Sunderland is going to be this year's edition of Chance Trujillo, it appears. Strong, physical kid. Aaron Bliss, the Snow College transfer. I liked what I saw to him. So Mark Brown Jr., the Valpo transfer, that originally started his playing career at the JUCO ranks of Snow College. I liked his energy, his speed, his ball handling. So he looks like maybe the starting point guard to me if I had to guess on early in summer camp.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I see him being definitely a factor.
All right, let's get to it. We're scouring some of the headlines, and we're putting some people in the doghouse, or who's going to be up in the penthouse. Let's do it.
Who's in Devin's doghouse? And who's partying in Paulie's penthouse?
All right, let's see. I think I've got a couple people to put up there today. Hang out with the caviar and the assorted shellfish and fresh seafood up here in the penthouse, as always.
Yep.
And I think I'm going to go with Richie Saunders. Got to be up there. He didn't have to wait very long till his name was called last night. It was, a lot of speculation that he could go at the end of the first, maybe the top of the second. But as far as the draft goes, sometimes second-round picks, they got to sit, they got to wait. But it was not long before Richie Saunders heard his name called in the second round of the draft. In the second pick, only one guy went ahead of him in the second round. But it is going to be Richie Saunders ends up with the Memphis Grizzlies on the 32nd overall pick. And he joins Cameron Boozer in a really nice draft haul for the Memphis Grizzlies. I'd probably put Richie Saunders and the front office of the Grizzlies in the penthouse today. They did a really good job throughout this draft. Got some value with Richie, got a great player in Boozer. But this is more about Richie, the BYU man, obviously hurt last year. It kind of derailed the season for them. They had higher aspirations to go deeper in the tournament. I think they would have if they had the 18 points that Richie Saunders supplies, along with shooting about 40-ish% from his career from three. I think he's going to be a weapon in the NBA. I could see him being a Kyle Korver type for years.
Oh.
Just sticking in the league, hitting threes, just being that guy to provide some bench scoring in the beginning of his career. And I could see him, really working his way into a starting role later on in his career. So hats off to Richie Saunders. He's in the penthouse eating caviar by the fistful today. So good for Richie Saunders.
Yeah, I mean, all Big 12 first-teamer his junior year, second team as a senior, 17-5, 41% three-point shooter. I definitely am fired up for Richie Saunders. It seems like a really good fit. And you mentioned Memphis's draft.
Yeah.
That was the only A-plus grade given out by Ben Golliver on ESPN.com. The only A-plus in the entire, there was a couple A minuses, there was, there was B's, there was B pluses, there was C's. Even the Golden State Warriors got a solid A, but the only A plus was Memphis for picking Boozer at 3, Kareem Lopez at 21, and Richie Saunders at 32. Now, we don't know what's going to happen with, the offseason, off the court stuff with Ja Morant. We wait and see on all that stuff and with his availability and stuff. I mean, they traded Jaren Jackson Jr. They've definitely made hay in the draft, and that seems like a really good fit for Richie Saunders. I have no bone to pick with you. I will hang out and chat it up in the penthouse with Richie Saunders.
Yeah, and it becomes the first time BYU's produced multiple picks in one NBA draft since 1984. So BYU slowly becoming a basketball school under Kevin Young's tutelage and guidance. So good for those two. Obviously, AJ goes 1, but Richie didn't have to wait long to hear his name called. He is the first member in the penthouse. And then for today's game against Turkey, which it is being spelled that way now. I thought I was reading that wrong a couple weeks ago, but Turkey has officially changed the spelling of the name of their country. But U.S. will take on them tonight, and I am going to put the whole U.S. team, including the calf ailing Christian Pulisic. I'm going to put him up there, maybe get him some ice bags up there, a nice elevated surface to raise his leg, get the blood flow. But, the whole U.S. national team goes up because they can sweep the group. They've got an opportunity to do that, and they will move on to the knockout stage. The matchup I was mentioning the other day is Bosnia-Herzegovina, and that is pretty much confirmed. That is who they're going to play in the knockout round. So
99% chance.
99% chance. So, and if they beat them, the path is next is Egypt, who just got their first ever World Cup win just a couple days ago.
And look good doing so,
They did look good doing so, but I feel like that is a favorable draw to get to the quarterfinals with those two opponents.
Which
so,
would be a win in my book for the U.S. men's national team. I mean,
yeah.
you definitely got to win the knockout round, the round of 32, and then you just got to take them one game at a time after that. It'll be interesting to see if Pulisic comes off the bench tonight or if they start him and play him, 30, 45 minutes in that range before making a substitution. They won't play Coach Pochettino is not going to play Chris Richards, Robinson, Adams, or Valerian Balogun because they're all playing with yellow cards, and he does not want to risk them getting another one. So they're gonna probably play it safe a little bit there, and we'll see a little bit. And I think that's smart for a number of reasons. You don't want to pick up another one, and you also two yellows equals a red, right? You don't want to. Well, as a coach, you want to know who you can rely on, what the rotation looks like going to the knockout stage. So you give some guys some deeper run and see who looks really ready for the moment. I think that because you're going to need some of those guys if you're going to make a deep run for the red, white, and blue. So I like that. Right. So the men's national team. So you think they are minus 120 to win. Remember, in soccer,
three-way.
It's a three-way bet. So that's, if it was just straight up, that would be different. But you got to bet the win, the draw, or the loss. And I obviously think the USA has the depth maybe this year to we saw Mexico last night, Paulie.
Yeah.
Rest a bunch of guys and still win 3-0.
Yeah. Turkey's 0-2 in the tournament, so they haven't fared too well. So it should be interesting. I would lean the U.S. money line in this game as well. So on the three-way, I don't think the draw is going to happen, and I really don't see Turkey coming through with the win. So I think the U.S. is the play today.
All right, let's go to the doghouse, and I got one guy that's making news for all the wrong reasons. The Lions' Terrion Arnold arrested. Oh, no, Paulie. Connection with robbery, a kidnapping plot. This is not good. He surrendered to authorities and has been jailed down in Tampa.
Yeah.
He's scheduled to make a court appearance today. And there was 4 counts of kidnapping and 4 counts of armed robbery. They're saying this is 1 to 15 for him. His lawyer, of course, is saying we'll prove it. We look forward to the legal system playing out. My client is innocent, all those things. But this is like a retaliation. What happened was somebody robbed his rental home.
Okay.
And then somehow this is being categorized as retaliation, or they schemed up this revenge plot. And he is one of multiple people being arrested and held right now. The official statement from Arnold's camp is he's in the doghouse, also known as the Slammer right now, is there is no credible evidence linking Mr. Arnold to these allegations. Instead, the government appears to be relying on testimony from multiple convicted felons who have admitted their own involvement and may have substantial incentives to shift blame in an effort to lessen their sentences. Mr. Arnold looks forward to his day in court and is confident the judicial process will lead to his ultimate vindication.
Yeah.
You're still in the doghouse, no matter what your attorney writes for the press.
Yeah, it's all alleged right now, but obviously
where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
His house was broken into. They were forced to leave. Arnold declined to go into detail with his off-the-field issues when he spoke with reporters last Wednesday at the Lions minicamp, saying he just wanted to focus on football.
Yeah.
And he was trying to play like I'm a home guy, hang around with my family, stuff like that. A lot of things happen in life. It's best to just remain silent. I mean, you speak on stuff you want to speak on. I mean, at the end of the day, silence sometimes is the best answer. So he totally denied any kind of open statement and said silence is the best answer at minicamp in Detroit last week.
Yeah.
Interesting, huh, Paulie?
It's not great.
Put him in the doghouse with Fido.
He's in there. He deserves to be in there.
Arnold, you in the doghouse. Okay. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll clear some time. David James going to join us. DJ, one of the best in the business. We'll get his take on the NBA draft, the Bonza, Peterson, and more when we return. Sports Radio. Since 1992, fans have been waking up to the co-host of DJ and PK on KSL Sports Zone 97.5, and he joins us now. And good to see you, man. Thanks for popping on, DJ. You and I are now doing morning shows, so we don't often connect, but it's good to have you on.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Yeah, you're right. We're overlapping now.
Good stuff. How's PK's golf game? Got to ask if he's still sneaking out once a week and his wife's still beating him.
There's no sneaking. She's retired now.
Ooh.
So she's playing more than him. The question is, does he get to tag along, or is she in some tournament, some competition? You know, she's got the weekly league at the local course. Yeah.
Love.
I told Jackie, I said, really, you're retired, but it's really just recess, isn't it? And she laughed. She's like, yeah, that's fair.
Okay, top of the draft last night. Let's jump right into it. Was there a call made? Did you hear any smoke about the Jazz, even on conversation about trying to move up, minutes before the Wizards took BYU AJ DeBonza?
I think that the calls were absolutely made. I think everybody does their homework. I think the Jazz talked to people about moving to the top spot and about moving back to 3. I think that there was enough of a change in players that they had zero interest in moving back beyond 4. But the thought that, hey, if this club sees it different, maybe we can get a steal and we can get a little something extra. But ultimately, we didn't see trades anywhere throughout the top 10 or 15. And I think and having some people on the show this morning, they were thinking the same thing, that it really showed that this draft was hyped up as a deep draft, and that's not just hype. It's actually what a lot of clubs believe. And people can say anything, especially, Liars Club is in session. Everybody's trying to be strategic with whatever they let leak. But then when it comes down to actions, nobody wanted to trade. Everybody's like, why would we give up more assets? We can get a really good player right here. And I think that's what drove it. I think everybody does their homework. Why wouldn't you? It's been 6 weeks since the lottery. There's plenty of time to evaluate players and have those conversations. But in the end, it's like, hey, if we stay put, we get a really good player we're really excited about. And I think legitimately through the top 10 and maybe even beyond that, I think that's what people think. And I think if they didn't think that, there would have been more trades.
You look at the way this played out. We were having fun. I'm sure you guys on your show were having fun with this. All the smoke screens. Peterson's not coming to work out with the Jazz. He's only talking and working out with Washington. Then we heard about that phone conversation over the weekend. Do you have any insight as to how Peterson's camp was attacking this draft and why he decided not to come? Was it just wishful thinking on his part to be the number 1 pick?
I think that's it. I think that's the point. I haven't heard anything definitive on this, but I think, again, analyzing people's actions and working backwards, that's what it looks like. When he says, I'm only going to talk to Washington, and workout is an expression. These guys aren't going to work out. They aren't going to go 5-on-5 or 3-on-3 or 1-on-1. They're going to come in. They're going to do interviews. They're going to talk to people. They're going to meet with people. They're going to answer questions and get to know each other. Maybe get a tour of the facilities. Maybe get a tour of the town. It's a get to know you session. Because as Austin Ainge said, and I think probably 30 executives across the league agree with this, no matter how good you aren't a finished player. I mean, Tim Duncan was awesome, and he was in college for 4 years, and he got better. So you guys have only been in school 1 year, and you're probably not Tim Duncan. I mean, Victor Wembanyama is getting better.
Yeah.
LeBron James got better, right?
Yeah.
So everybody has to get better. So Austin's thing was, hey, we got to get to know them, because no matter what skill set they have, and certainly we want to know that, we want to know the measurables, everybody's got to improve by leaps and bounds.
DJ wanted to ask.
You got to know the person to think, wow, are they really going to want to work hard, and they really going to want to improve when they got the world by the tail? I mean, these guys, the number 1 pick gets $68 million. The number 2 pick gets $61 million. Number 3 gets $55. Number 4 gets $50. That is enormous money for the rest of their lives. If they totally bust, they're locked in, right? And you can't have them bust, and you can't even have them be good. Somebody in this group is going to be great. And you don't want to sit there thinking, oh, we used the number 2 pick on good, and number 3 turned out to be great. That makes you look bad. So I think that's really the point of those. And it wasn't a phone call. It wasn't an in-person meeting. Over time, people have started to address this. Peterson gave it up day before the draft. I think he said, yeah, I talked to the Jazz. Where? We met. and he didn't want to give up any more. But then Austin Ainge, in his media session afterwards, said that they went to Canton, and he actually listed the people who went. Ryan Smith and Will Hardy didn't go because they had weddings they had to be at, I think. But other than that, it was who you would expect. Danny Ainge went, Justin Zanuck went. It was pretty much who you would expect. Somebody else went. I'm forgetting now. But in any case, and they went in thinking he was their guy, and they came out thinking, yeah, he absolutely is our guy. Apparently, here's another thing that came out. They also met at the combine, and after the combine, he told his agent, this is the kind of thing that's really convenient to leak now. Peterson told his agent, "Yeah, I like those Utah guys. I could see working with them." Well, of course, they want to let that out now. They were trying to frame everything as like, he's obviously the number one pick. Why wouldn't he be? And I was starting to buy it. I was like, man, maybe the Wizards have blown it, and they've let it leak. And I don't know why they would tip their hand, but maybe they did. And then Devonta works out for two teams. It's like, well, maybe AJ knows he's going to be one of the top two. It doesn't take a lot of imagination to think the Jazz would take him. And it's hard to imagine the Jazz would dare pass on him. He's so popular here. Maybe they would have, but hard to believe. But then when Peterson agreed to that meeting, I thought, oh, no, he was just trying to shape the narrative here and tell a story and see if he could bluff his way into it. And now he figures it's not working, and he doesn't want to drop to 3 because that's a $6 million pay cut. There's no reason to give up 10% of your rookie contract. So he met with the Jazz. And the interesting thing, we had a guy from Kansas who's covered him. It says it's crazy that what happened at Kansas happened, first of all, that he sat so many games, that he pulled himself out in the second half of so many games. And then on top of it, it's crazy that they just didn't handle the story better because the picture you get of him entitled Not Driven really isn't who he is. And a lot of people in Kansas will tell you that, and the people in high school and AAU will tell you that. And it's not like he had to win over one group of people as a high school kid. He actually played at 3 schools. It's not unusual, to have 3 different AAU clubs. But, he's from Canton. He had 3 years of high school in 3 different states, and one of them was in California. And he wasn't even in LA or Oakland. He was in Napa. Like, what? Napa? I don't really think of Napa as a basketball-rich area. Napa is rich. It's not basketball-rich. It's rich in cash, and it's rich in wineries. And after that, what's Napa known for, right? So he moves around. He connects with different people. And, I think Jazz fans should be excited. We had Brian Geltzeiler on, who's on NBA TV and SiriusXM NBA radio, and he thought it was a fantastic pick. And I've read some stuff, CBS Sports, ESPN, and they think it was the number 1 pick. And all the drama at Kansas dropped him to 2, but they just think the Jazz won big time.
Yeah, DJ, I wanted to ask you, as far as Peterson goes, I wanted to know your reception for your listeners and the calls you've taken for this guy. He's been described as an enigma, mercurial guy, just kind of, aloof in a way, an antisocial loner, his own words. But how is the reception among your listeners post-draft of taking Darren Peterson?
There are listeners who are still mad about the 4 years of tanking, can't let it go, and they're just angry. There are people who still feel bitter and burned that Donovan Mitchell clearly wanted out, that Gordon Hayward left, that Boozer left, that Darren Williams was going to leave, but they traded him first. So there's definitely a camp like that. But I think the biggest group, and I would say it's at least half, I would say it's 50 to 60% of the fan base is very excited. And then you've got, the 10% are still mad about the tank. 10% are like, he won't stay. 10% are like, they should have done whatever they could to move up to get AJ DeBanza. And there's 10% who's on vacation. I don't know what they're thinking. So I just realized it didn't add up to 100%. I had to pivot to one more group. And I think that winning's a great deodorant. Coaches have been saying that for a long time. And so if Peterson plays well and they win, that number that I personally think is 50 or 60% right now, I think that'll just start growing. It'll just go to 70. It'll go to 80. He'll just keep winning people over. He has come off, and maybe he's just selling. It's a couple important days. But I wasn't back there in New York, but Ben Anderson does the afternoon show and Ben's full-time job is being the Jazz insider and tracking that. And he said DeBanza came off as surprisingly pleasant, easy to have a conversation with. There was no aloofness or entitlement at all. There's lots of people coming through. Some of them are hardcore basketball people. Some of them are local. Some of them are national. Some of them are looking for stuff to drive social media. You know, if you could see any concert, who would you see? You know, what's the, if I hit shuffle, what am I most likely to hit? I mean, whatever. Uh, if you were a fruit, what fruit would you be? He played along with the silly stuff. He played along with the social media stuff. He answered the hardcore basketball stuff. Ben hung out with him for, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes, probably closer to 10 during the media session because you have to rotate around to different people. He said it was really easy. It just speaks well to his ability to fit into a group. And Austin Ainge said the same thing, that they were talking about players on the team, and he had some observations, and he also had a lot of questions. You know, you can watch video and observe the basketball stuff, but you only get a little bit of the personality watching the game. And so, Austin came away. It's the honeymoon right now. Not everybody, but a lot of people are really happy, and then we'll just see how it plays out on the court.
You talk about the fit. I've been saying for weeks down here in St. George, this is the fit. You put Keontae at the 1, you put him at the 2, you got Ace and Jackson and Markkanen and Kessler maybe. I mean, talk about the potential, starting 5 and the fit from your perspective when you heard his name called last night. I mean, it looks like a perfect fit with what the Jazz were looking for.
Well, I think with positionless basketball, you should be getting guys who can play multiple positions and match up with multiple guys, unless they are really tiny and absolutely a point guard, or if they're really big and absolutely a 5. And I think Jaren Jackson needs to play most of its minutes at the 4, but I think there are times he can match up with a 5 and play some minutes, especially against backups. I think Lauri Markkanen, probably a better 4 than a 3, but he can play the 3 alongside Jackson. I think Ace Bailey, in the end, may be able to play 3 positions. And I think that Keontae and Peterson can play together. And if they can't, I think they'll both be good enough that there's a market, so I'm not really worried about that. I also think you need to factor in that in the regular season, guys are going to play 65 games, give or take 5 games. So you're not even going to have all these guys. I think the fit's fine. I never worried about the fit. I always thought, take the best player, and given how good this draft is and given where they're drafting, take a player who can have a good 10 to 12 to 15-year run as the anchor of a franchise, an all-NBA guy, and his peak top 5 or 10, but certainly be in the top 15. And I think Peterson checks all those boxes. It's really a question of, can his body handle the wear and tear? How much of this was creatine driven? How much is that kind of a cover story? How much was somebody in his ear? How much did he have some nagging injury with you get a nagging injury in a season as short as a college basketball. I mean, the Major League Soccer season goes on forever, right? I mean, those guys are playing 8, 9, 10 months. So if someone gets a hamstring, I've gotten to the point now where I just expect them to be out 5 or 6 weeks. They'll say 4 to 6, and I do not expect 4. And but in college basketball, man, a poorly timed hamstring, 6 weeks. I mean, the conference season is 9. I mean, it's so much, So is he trying to push through something and come back, and that's why he kept having issues? It's hard to know, and he's only going to say what he's going to say, and we're only going to know what we're going to know. And it doesn't matter at this point because that was Kansas and that was then, and now it's the NBA and it's the Jazz and this is now. And the question is, how many of the 82 can he play? And more importantly, how healthy can he be for the playoffs at the end of an 82-game season?
And since we're guessing on games played, let's talk points per game. Like right now, is he a 20-plus point per guy score? I mean, we saw what he did as a freshman in Kansas. There's been some great players through Kansas. He averaged over 20 there, and he missed 11 games. Can we expect him to go for 25 a night and be considered an all-rookie first-teamer?
I think he has talent for 25-plus a night. I think the reason I will not guarantee that to you right now is I do not know about usage. I don't know how the shot's going to be divvied up because Markkanen can score 25 a night. Keontae can score 25 in any given night, even though I don't think he'll average that. Jaren Jackson is clearly a 20-point-a-game guy. I haven't even mentioned Ace Bailey yet. Walker Kessler's 10 points a game just because he gets offensive rebounds, a few free throws, and a few alley-oop dunks. Well, there's only so many possessions in a game. All these guys can't hit all these numbers. So it's going to be about who can be most efficient and who has a matchup they can really exploit. So I don't think he'll average 25. I think that goes to the Rookie of the Year question. I would take Cam Boozer because they have less talent on that team, and he can do a lot of things. He's going to chance to score a lot of points. A.J. DeBonsa is going to have to watch Trey do a lot of stuff with the ball in Washington. I just don't know how much A.J. is going to get it. And I don't know how much DP is going to get it in Utah because you have 4 or 5 other guys who can score. So I think it's going to get spread around. And I don't even think it'll be up to Will Hardy. I mean, it will be partially up to Will Hardy, and they'll prioritize stuff, and guys will know. they'll see the talent, but it's also determined by the defense. If you're really the best guy, then that's a guy who gets doubled the most, and you have to become more of a passer and facilitator. So that'll drive down your scoring average. I think Peters can do just about anything. So the question is, how will he be defended, and who will he be on the court with? There will be some guys in a rotation who aren't as good as scorers. So if you are selected as the guy who's on the floor with 2 or 3 bench guys who aren't elite scorers, your numbers are going to go up, So I hesitate to put a number on it, but he's got the talent to score 25 if they turn him loose and give him shots.
All right,
I don't think there's any question about that.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to ask you one more numbers question here. Last year, the Jazz win total was 18.5 games. The new totals have not come out yet. I was wondering what DJ would set the Jazz win total for next season at.
I think Vegas will set it in the mid to upper 40s. I think that as far as not so much not to go all Sorsby on you here, but as far as a radio talk show setting an expectation, not a number to gamble on, I would say that this Jazz team, if everything goes right, can get to 50 wins.
Wow.
I think this Jazz team, if everything goes right, can be top 6 in the West. We were just looking at last year, and every year's a little different. There was one year Jeff Hornacek was coaching the Suns, and they won 48 games, and they were 9th in the West. There was no play-in then, and they missed the playoffs. 48 wins. That's crazy. I think that they can get top 6 in the West. And I think the 3, 6, and 4, 5 series, we'll have to see with free agency and trades, but I think they should be pretty competitive. If you're 7, 8 and Oklahoma City and San Antonio are 1, 2 in some order, you're a long shot. You're a big old long shot. And I know some people cringe at, don't run and hide from them. You can't. You're in the West. Be 3, 4, 5, 6, play a winnable series. If you win it, then you get Oklahoma City and San Antonio. You still get tested. But, it's 2 more weeks of basketball for fans and media. It's 2 more weeks of money for the owners selling out arenas. And it's 2 more weeks of playoff experience for a team that has very little. They may have some. Let's see what the roster looks like. I think they'll add a couple veterans here and hopefully guys who have a little postseason experience. I think they still need a backup center, and they probably need a guy on the perimeter who can handle the ball in the clutch. We saw what happened when Duke went with 2 freshmen with the ball in the clutch. They lost in a regional final. We saw what happened when San Antonio was giving the ball to young guys in the clutch, and Castle kept turning it over. So I think they need to bring in a veteran there. But I think the goal should be 50 wins and 1 or 2 playoff series.
I think
if they get to that, I don't think you can complain about this upcoming season. I think that's a huge step forward. I think it's really doable. It puts them in a mix with Denver and Houston and the Lakers and Minnesota. Those teams were between 49 and 54 wins, and they were 3, 4, 5, 6. So get into that mix.
What's the latest on Walker Kessler, DJ? Because he's part of the long-term plans. You need a rim protector. We saw what they did in Oklahoma City last night, taking the big guy out of Michigan. We've seen how Wemby has shaped the playoffs in the West, and we've seen interest from the Lakers and other teams on Kessler, and he turned down that offer. Are you hearing anything of the sides even close right now? What's this standoff look like from up at your perspective?
I think there's been a lot of smoke, like we saw in the draft, like we were talking about, trying to negotiate your way into pick number 1. I think there's been a lot of smoke. There was a lot of stuff here about they're a long way apart and Kessler isn't happy. And it got into a feedback loop, and it just kept cycling. And then Walker Kessler went on social media, and there's a picture of him in a canyon, river valley, something. And he's like, I like Utah. I like my teammates. I like my coach. I'm putting down roots. And it's like, okay, so the business side of the equation started overheating, and Walker got a little uncomfortable. Walker's going, wait a minute, 5 years, 140 million, 28 per. I can squeeze by. And he is in a good situation, and give him credit for having a high enough basketball IQ to know that, Hey, you lean, you push, you get, but maybe there's something behind the scenes like, Walker, that's it. We're not going higher than 140. And Walker's like, all right, I'm happy. Everybody calm down. So I think it's going to get done now. But there was a time when there was a lot of noise, and I wondered, you know, but there was just so much public posturing. You never really know, actions speak louder than words. And I think putting that post up on social media has me leaning towards Walker's going to sign that deal when we get to the date, which, isn't that far away now that we're past the first round of the draft. So
real quick,
I think he'll be here. They need someone in that role. What they don't need is Walker in that role making 10 or 15 million too much, because nobody wants to pay this second apron, and you can paint yourself into a corner, And it is not lost on me that the teams that are standing at the end, the Knicks who won the title, the Spurs who lost the finals, and the Thunder, the defending champs who lost in 7 because they had 2 injuries to the Spurs, those 3 teams combined had 1 player who made over $40 million. I think the Knicks won because Brunson took $100 million less than he could have. And that enabled them to go get 1 or 2 more pieces for depth that they needed. They needed Bridges, right? You can go down the roster. They needed all their guys. So I think that they want Kessler. They need Kessler, but they need Kessler in the right ballpark. And honestly, I'm a little worried about Markin and Jackson. I think they're really good. I want them both on the roster. I think they're stars. I think they might be $35 million stars, 30, 35, 40 million. We can all debate that. I just don't know that they're $50 million stars. Combined, they make $95 million this year, $100 million next year, and $105 the year after that. They're all signed for 3 upcoming seasons. So when I say this year, I mean the season that kicks off in October. So that's a big chunk of the cap. They got to stay healthy and they got to play at a high level. Now, the Jazz are catching a break because this year they've got Keontae on a rookie deal. And obviously now they've got multiple years here with Darren Peterson on a rookie deal. So that helps. But they can't pay everybody big money. They're going to have to draw some lines in the sand.
Real quickly, we got about 60 seconds, DJ. Quickly, what does it say about BYU basketball? First ever #1 pick. Cougar fans, were they hooping and hollering, pretty excited about that on the open phone lines this morning, or is it pretty
No,
mum?
I think they're a little depressed that AJ didn't come here.
Yeah.
I think what it says to upcoming stars, the 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds, BYU's a place you can go. You can work with a coach who's got a lot of NBA experience, a staff with a lot of NBA experience. You can go to the NCAA tournament, and you can be a lottery pick. Obviously, Brooklyn took Ayor a year ago. Now we've seen Bonsa go #1, and I think that's a trend that'll continue. I think the question is, if BYU is going to win, can they get 3 or 4 elite guys, right? Duke had 4 guys drafted. They won the title. Michigan just had 3 guys drafted, and they won the title. So, and not just 3 or 4 guys, but most of them drafted early, right? Michigan's all their guys went in the top 15. Duke, I'd have to go back and look. I think 3 of their 4 were top 15. I think 1 guy might have been later, maybe a 20 or something like that. So if BYU's going to win at the level Cougar fans want to win, 1 NBA guy isn't enough. We've seen that 2 years in a row now. He can be an NBA lottery pick, but there's 14 NBA lottery picks, Sweet 16. You can see what happens. Some of those guys have to lose.
Good stuff. DJ joining us now. We're running out of time. Holy cow. They're telling us that our Zoom is over time. Jazz Summer League coming up there in Salt Lake. League coming up in Salt Lake City, and appreciate David James. Breaking news here as we finish up hour one. Big shout out to David James for joining us on the program. We've got an NBA trade, Paulie.
Yes.
Breaking news. The Shams, the first that I've seen to report this coming about 20 minutes ago. Breaking news. The Charlotte Hornets are trading star guard LaMelo Ball and Josh Green to the Minnesota Timber Pups for Naz Reid, a 2033 unprotected first-round pick, 3 first-round pick swaps in 28, 29, and 30, and 3 second-round picks in 29, 32, and 33. So LaMelo Ball is going to team up with Ant-Man Edwards in Minnesota, eh?
Yeah, how about that? That is some breaking news.
Yes, the Timberwolves send a haul back to the Hornets. That's a haul back. 4 first round, 3 swaps and then 1 first rounder and 3 seconds for Josh Green and LaMelo Ball. And Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball were the number 1 and number 3 picks in 2020, and that will be your backcourt. Charlotte didn't even shop Ball in the market.
Yeah, they've completely cleaned out here.
Yeah.
All right. Quick question.
Okay.
Name a player on the Charlotte Hornets now, not named Naz Reid. It is tough. They've cleaned out. I do remember one other one. Number 2 pick. Had an issue with a gun.
Con
thing.
Knipple.
Oh, Con Knipple. There you go. He's one.
Yeah. That's
I was
going to
go Brandon Miller. He's still on the Charlotte Hornets, right?
I don't know.
I think so.
Does anybody watch Charlotte Hornets basketball?
I'm not sure, but just wanted to ask you that question because they have left their team. I know, when a team trades off a star, it's always hard.
They are going full rebuild
Full
again.
rebuild, yeah.
Have they ever come out of the rebuild era in Charlotte?
I don't know. They made a playoff series a few years ago and lost in the first round. I think they've only made the playoffs as a franchise once, twice, maybe since the Michael Jordan iteration, and now he's sold out. The Bobcats, if you remember that era of Charlotte basketball. Yeah, it's been kind of a dumpster fire for the Charlotte Hornets, Bobcats, whoever. So I feel for their fans, but this is a good move for Ant-Man and the Wolves.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Big time blockbuster move. We had a bunch of trades. You got 2 BYU guys in the first 33 picks of the draft as Richie got drafted last night. You got Devonza, the first ever BYU Cougar. And then I was listening to Ryan Smith, owner of the Jazz, on the McAfee show. Did you hear that bit? Maybe we play that second hour. And the consensus or the comment, I should say, was that people were offering the farm to move up into the top 3.
Yeah.
And Ryan Smith said, but we had a chance to get a generational talent in Darren Peterson, and we didn't make the move. So there was a lot of offers, probably for the 1, the 2, and the 3, with the Jazz sitting there at 2, according to Ryan Smith. And this is the comments here on McAfee's show. Do we have time to play this? How long is this clip? Yeah, we got time.
We do.
Yeah, we got time.
Okay.
There's always time. We make time.
Hopefully. All right. Let me get this for the viewers. I know we're.
Well, you had it. Just keep playing it.
No. We got the display full caption.
There you go. Give McAfee his love.
Draft, were there teams that are pretty aggressive trying to trade up, or what was that situation?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, people were offering the farm to try to get in the top 3, obviously. And we've been there. I mean, we drafted 5th last year. We drafted 9th and 10th. And, those calls are interesting. People listen and kind of smirk and think, what if? But it's really hard to see that. It was interesting almost from the jump. There was almost just no movement. And there wasn't going to be any movement in the top 4. I think everyone kind of felt like they would be kind of where they are. And but for us, you've got a chance to get a generational player that fits in with the team. And, we've done hey, we're trading everything for all the picks for the last couple of years, and we've had those picks, but, it's time to go. So that's kind of how we thought about it. But, whether it's ACUF or wherever, I mean, it was a super deep draft. I mean, if you were drafting 7th, 8th, and 9th, I mean, you were looking at a lot of names and trying to figure out, like, how's this going to go. I think this is going to be one of those drafts going to be super interesting to watch play out, because if you were to say, hey, there's 4 all NBA guys in this draft, like, who are they, right? It's pretty easy to see they're there somewhere, or it could be.
Well, good for you guys.
It'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah, Ryan.
There you go. Ryan Smith, owner of the Utah Jazz, on staying put, taking Peterson. So we we asked DJ, do you think there was, a call made for the Jazz with the Wizards? And he said, absolutely, I think there was. But it sounds like the Jazz were fielding just as many calls from everybody else in the league about moving up and getting Peterson. I mean, look.
Yeah.
Just
or
the
Boozer, depending on the preference.
If you want to look at the analytics, the conversation between Boozer, Peterson, and DeBonza, there's an argument to be made for all 3 of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, Boozer, the one who was picked last, has the best odds to win the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, because I think he goes to Memphis and he gobbles up a lot of shots, whereas there is a supporting cast in Utah. There is a little bit of a supporting cast with a healthy Anthony Davis and Trae Young in Washington. So you look at the fit, and Boozer's going to have no problems being one of the focal points and getting a lot of shots off, a lot of touches.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's not a shocker. Doesn't mean he'll win it.
I thought it was a little shocking. Not shocking, but I thought it was a little bit
surprising. Any other draft, Cameron Boozer is the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Any other draft. Except for maybe 03
but the
and
Rookie
84.
of the Year is a numbers production award. Like, is he going to produce to the quantity of numbers, rebounds, points, all that stuff to be the Rookie of the Year? Even on a terrible team like Memphis, I feel like AJ and Darren have just as good of a chance.
Yeah.
And they're pretty significant dogs compared to Cameron Boozer.
Show today brought to you by our friends at the Rev Tour. The Rev Tour is changing the golf game here in Southern Utah. Here's how it works. Every golfer that signs up and competes, they compete in their own flight. That means if you're a 25 handicap, you're playing other 25 handicaps. If you're a 4 handicap, you're playing other 4s or 5 handicaps. You're not getting crushed by a scratch golfer. You're climbing the leaderboard. There is a live leaderboard. Competitive pathway is real. And regionals in Vegas, nationals at courses like TPC Sawgrass, Pebble Beach. Your flight, your competition, your chance to win. All swings are welcome. Every skill level competes. Go to therevstg.com and use FAN50 in the promo box to save $50 on your annual yearly membership price to join the Rev Golf Tour STG. We're back for hour 2 after this timeout. June 25th. We are hour 2. Here we go. Second hour, best hour this morning. Devin, Dixon, Paul Ratliff in for the drive. And the headlines today brought to you by our good friends at Zag. Protect it better. Get screen protectors that come with a lifetime warranty. Don't zig, just Zag. They got 2 St. George locations, one over there by Great Harvest Bread on the Boulevard in the Boulevard Commons, and then another one over in Dinosaur Crossing, and then a location up there for all our Cedar City listeners. Don't zig, just Zag, and protect your phone better. Let's get to what's trending this morning, shall we, Paulie?
Yes.
It's time for the Top 8 at 8 on The Drive, the longest running sports talk show in town.
Not much other than the breaking news we reported 10 minutes ago. LaMelo Ball has been traded to Minnesota for a haul, including Naz Reid, 3 pick swaps, first rounder, 3 second rounders. So Josh Green and LaMelo Ball headed to Minnesota for Naz Reid. This comes on the heels of course, AJ DeBonza going number 1 overall, Peterson at number 2 to the Jazz. Just heard what Ryan Smith had to say about, people offering the farm to move up to 1, 2, or 3. And the Jazz take their generational talent in Darren Peterson. And so, Boozer's heading to Memphis. And this NBA draft class, Paulie, and all the trades, this is shaking up the league. The NBA has been very interesting this week, has it not?
It has. It's been a compelling thing to watch.
You're kind of still in the headlines away from the World Cup there for a day or two.
Yeah.
And, of course, that'll shift back tonight with USA as we get to our next headline. USA men's national team. It's the nightcap tonight as they will be back in action. And it sounds like Christian Pulisic will play tonight, but the guys that have yellow cards for players for the USA will not play in the game tonight. So they're playing it safe, rest some guys, and we'll see a little bit of a different rotation tonight for the USA. They're still minus 120 favorites, though, in the World Cup stage finale. The team they're playing, Turkey is 0-2.
Yes.
Haven't won, haven't drawn, 2 losses for Turkey. Other storylines out there. To golf we go. Of course, the big news, the Challenger Series and the Champions Series, 2 tiers in 2028. There's been a lot of talk in the golf circles about that, but they're playing golf at the Travelers Championship. This is a signature event. We know in 2028 the signature events will all go to 120 player fields. But this one is a little smaller field, and quite a few guys getting out on the course, including Tony Finau. But Tom Hoagie is your leader at 3 under par through his first 8 holes. And then you got the 1-unders, Jackson Suber, Min Woo Lee, Eric Cole, Ben James, Bob McIntyre, Patrick Cantlay, Brandt Snedeker, and Hideki Matsuyama birdied his first hole. He's just getting out on the course.
There we go.
And instantly goes into a tie for second. Tony is now 3 over through 5. Tony had some beautiful 3 putts from the fringe. I don't know if statistically it would have been a 3 putt for bogey on 1. He misses very makeable short birdies on 2 and 3. And then bogeys 4 and 5. So he is all of a sudden through 5 holes, 3 over par. Not a good start for Tony Finau rocking the Jumpman logo.
No, not today, and not most tournaments in the past couple years for Tony.
Yep. Of course, other headlines yesterday, Knicks made a trade with Houston. Houston gets Bruce Thornton. Richie Saunders then goes off the board with the 32nd pick, and he will be headed to Memphis and be with Cameron Boozer and company there as Richie Saunders becomes the second BYU player drafted. And Isaiah Evans, who was in the green room and did not get picked in the first round, went right behind him at 33 out of Duke to Brooklyn.
All right. I've got a headline. This one comes from Chandler Holt, a Jazz insider at KSL Sports. The Utah Jazz will open Vegas Summer League against The Washington Wizards on July 9th at 6 p.m.
I saw that.
Darren Peterson versus A.J. DeBonza.
Good headline. May as well get down there for that one, huh?
Yes,
I mean,
I will indeed be down there for that one.
I know we've mentioned it a couple of times leading up to the draft, but I think you were pretty aware. I think most people that follow these guys' careers were pretty aware of what happened when they played head-to-head in the AU circuit. I don't remember the points when BYU played Kansas during the season this year. Do you remember the point production in those games?
It was at Fog Allen. I know Peterson played the first half and then left for the second
That's right.
half.
He was injured in that game.
But he did have an incendiary first half. Let me check that. He had, 18 first half points on 6 of 7 shooting against BYU. So, pretty good game for Peterson before he did pull himself out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully that's not an ongoing theme in Utah. But as I was saying, first Summer League game from Vegas on July 9th will be AJ and Darren going at it.
Yeah. Head-to-head in high school, I think it was like almost 60 for Peterson, 49 for DeBonza. When Kansas played BYU, Peterson had 18 left hurt. DeBonza had 17 in that game. In the 2025 McDonald's All-American game, Peterson had 18 and was the co-MVP. A.J. DeBonza had 13. So, some more reasons, Jazz fans, to get fired up about Darren Peterson. I know they wanted DeBonza because he played at BYU, but there are a lot of other reasons why Darren Peterson is a great selection for the Utah Jazz. Okay, other headlines.
He did say, I see a guy, this is Peterson's quote. He gave this to Alex Kennedy at the draft. This was the tail end of the quote. So what I'm going to do, I see a guy that went number 1 on the screen there right now. He's talking about DeBonza. So I'm extra motivated. It will always be in my mind for my whole career. I think that's good for the Jazz, that he comes in with a big chip on his shoulder. He thought he's the number 1 pick, and he's not. He ends up in Utah, but I think he is ready. Darren Peterson, Rookie of the Year, I think has real legs. I think he could do it.
Yeah,
so.
I'm not going to disagree with you there. Brendan Sorsby reports are, not maybe going to get much help from the NFLPA after his request for entry. You've probably heard about this now, the supplemental draft.
Yeah.
The NFL has shot him down. And we found out about this back on Tuesday. This is, old news. But the new news, because what Sorsby's camp is saying that this is an unlawful act in violation of the collective bargaining agreement, and the player is going to bring this to the NFLPA. So we heard that, and then the more they've looked into this and stuff, the NFLPA represents the players in negotiations. They protect player rights, fair wages, working conditions, benefits, all those things. There's an 11-year deal in place.
Yeah.
The supplemental draft are many of the items that the owners and players collectively agreed upon, and the CBA states that NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell has the discretion to decide whether to hold or not a supplemental draft. So Sorsby might not get the help he's looking for from the NFLPA. A lot of sources are saying, because they're unnamed because they're not authorized to speak publicly on the matter, said union leaders and legal teams are in the process of reviewing the situation to determine what and if any action they would take, and whether Sorsby actually has any legal grounds that would warrant the NFLPA's support. So,
gotcha.
The union's taking a very cautious approach in this case.
That's right.
So, don't expect. It's not all of a sudden likely that he's going to be on a team and playing this year. I think that would be quite the opposite.
What's that year that kids take now?
A sabbatic?
High school after the gap year.
The gap year.
Before college. I've heard that term, gap year. So this will be the gap year for Brendan Sorsby.
Yeah.
All right, I got 2 quick NBA, one basketball, one NBA headline. $185 million, the richest contract ever handed out to an undrafted NBA player. Austin Reeves and the LA Lakers agreed to a big deal. He went undrafted in 2021, worked his way up from a two-way contract to a max deal. Pretty cool to see the Oklahoma Sooner Austin Reeves get paid some big cash for the Lakers. I think a lot of people expected that, but it is done now. And this is really cool. I saw this from Front Office Sports as well. After a 2-decade absence, Tracy McGrady is reviving the legendary ABCD basketball camp. The Hall of Famer is buying 80% of the camp from Sonny Vaccaro and relaunching it this July. McGrady and Vaccaro told Front Office Sports. So some of the notable guys, if you've never heard of the ABCD camp, it's run by Adidas. Some of the notable names that have played in it: LeBron, Kobe, Tracy McGrady, Carmelo Anthony, and Kevin Garnett, just to name a few. Okay.
One more. We've got the audio. Paulie, if you want to pull that up. Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White cited and was really adamant about 2 no calls last night as the Fever lost a heartbreaker, and Caitlin Clark walked to the locker room. There was one of the fouls where there was a closed fist as she fell down onto Caitlin and pushed into her throat area. And there was another one where they didn't give her landing room and stepped up into her, and then they went and reviewed it and still upheld it. Here is a very, very frustrated and probably soon to be fined Indiana Fever coach Stephanie White, who's backing her player, the star that is Caitlin Clark. Give it a listen.
You got to call it. It's absolutely egregious and utterly disrespectful. And then number 2, you're coming in here aware of what happened 2 nights ago, and that still happens? Absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. And the reckless closeout that they actually reviewed, and the foot still comes down on top of the defender's foot that wasn't upgraded? Absolutely disrespectful. We have a generational talent and a WNBA superstar who had 2 cheap shots right there that weren't called. And I just say again, absolutely unacceptable.
All right.
Wow, Paulie.
Yeah.
Clark had 19 points, 8 assists before leaving. She's dealt with back issues earlier this season. She missed a game on May 20th. Coach was also asked about the back issue. She said it's a long season. We've got to we got to be careful. Basically, we got to make sure that she stays healthy. White said she spoke to the officials at halftime about both plays, and she was also frustrated. There was 11 fouls in the fourth quarter called against the Indiana Fever, and 2 on the the Mercury or the Mystics that they were playing. Yeah. Phoenix Mercury. They were playing the Mercury. Crazy. She's not getting any superstar treatment, and Coach White backing Caitlin Clark, and absolutely, that's as frustrated as a WNBA coach can get about officiating, isn't it, Paulie?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah.
That was about as fired up as I've seen a NBA coach just talking ball and calls. So, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, the WNBA standings, by the way, right now Indiana's sitting 7th in their standings right now. The Minnesota Lynx are 14-4. Las Vegas Aces 12-5. Some of the better records right now in the WNBA. That's your top 8 today. When we come back, NBA Career Edition of Would You Rather. We'll pit some draft picks head to head. Tell you who we like more in the upcoming career for these young class of 2026 NBA Rising Stars. We'll be back to the Finley Hyundai Studios after a message from our great local partners. Glad you're with us on a Throwdown Thursday edition. 8:19, rolling through hour 2, and show today brought to you by Game Day Men's Health. And guys, listen up. If you're feeling run down, you're feeling off, low energy, low libido, you can get a free testosterone T-test. Absolutely, free, free. The thing that you love is you're always in a hurry. I'm always running around. I know we're busy. It's summertime. Kids are out of school, whatnot. 15 minutes, Paulie. 15 minutes is all it takes for you to get in there, get your test, and get your results back. And you can see if maybe that's low T that's dragging you down. If so, they've got their lowest price. If you sign up right now, get $50 a week in TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. So reclaim your game with Game Day Men's Health. It's where I go. Staff is great. Man cave environment. TVs in every room. They're over there in the old Coral Desert Medical Center across from IHC. And, of course, they do sexual performance. They do peptides. They do customized weight loss plans. All that and more to have guys look and feel their best. $50 a week. That's it. If you need to get on TRT from Game Day Men's Health, go to the website, gamedaymen'shealth.com/St. George. Or even better, you can call or text. The text option is great, especially since the staff's just getting in and getting going. But you can text them and just say, hey, Billy, heard you on the fan. Devin was telling me to text you for an appointment. When can you get me in?